Sell or keep. Double helmet size top box.
Oh, I'm selling that, dude.
More concerning. High miles or scratches and dents.
Scratches and dents.
Which seller is more annoying? The no description at all or the itemized list including prices?
The itemized list including prices.
Which causes more pause? Lowered bikes or aftermarket electronics?
That's a good one, dude. I'm going to go with electronics.
Sell or keep. Tubeless conversion kit.
I'm selling it.
Welcome to Moto Adventure Unscripted, a weekly podcast about motorcycles, travel, outdoors, and adventure. I'm your host, Drew Faulkner. Mark joins me again today as we talk about the best used motorcycles under $3,500. The used market has finally started to come back to some shape of reality. So Mark and I were like, hey, this is a great opportunity for us to tell folks some of the pretty sweet deals that are hiding out there on Facebook Marketplace. So today we're going to go through all of that in kind of a game show format. So as usual, we want to hear from you, the listeners. Hit us with email, motoadvr@gmail.com, or even better, leave comments here on Spotify. Wherever you're listening, grab your beverage of choice, turn it up. We hope you enjoy the show. Can you buy a legitimate adventure motorcycle for $3,500 or less? Today, you and I are going to use Facebook Marketplace listings from around the country to try to determine which bike we'd actually spend our money on. And I'm going to do this kind of game show style where you and I pick a couple segment categories, read some stuff, and we do some elimination as we go here. But first, let's rip through some mail call here real quick if we can. Episode 160, who are the hosts of Motor Adventure Unscripted? Alfonso says, best dollar I've ever spent. I drive from Aledo, Texas to Duncan, Oklahoma 3 times a week, so I listen to the hours of this episode. So we definitely appreciate that.
Yeah, man. Episode 161, how to convert a dual sport to an adventure bike. Tom is the guy that has the old DR650 and added all kinds of crap to it. Heck, with the bags, it's almost a truck. I love that imagery, so keep rocking it, Tom. Thank you.
Shrug emoji. I wanted to throw that out there. You got the shrug emoji.
Yep. You got to have that.
Same show. Alexis says, bonus content is always 100%. Keep it up, guys. Have the DRZ 400, and she is almost completely adventured out. You guys mentioned some great mods I will be adding. I took her to a dirt bike rally this weekend, and mistakes were made following a Husky 300 up a rocky hill with the skull emoji.
Yeah, man. Keep it up, because that was some badass pictures I saw on Instagram, Alexis. Cabinet Man. Same episode. As a noob rider, only rode dirt and gravel to learn some basic riding over 7-ish years. Can totally relate to this. He built out a CRF 450 RL to run back roads in light ADV. Getting used to it in the wind, highway, crazy fun, but the new Touareg Rally T7 decked out, several more. There's a lot of things in the same range, you know, so where does the fun stop? Great podcast. Thanks for listening, Cabinet Man.
New comment, old episode 121, middleweight adventure motorcycle shootout. What is this? Orthodox Presby is the account name. I've grown to love listening to the motorcycle talk. Started riding again a month ago on CRF 300L Rally. Now I'm about to replace it with a 26 T7 in a week or so. I love the fact that they've moved the gas tank on the 25s to help with the high weight. Great episode. Good comment, because I've ridden a newer one recently. Got a few things to say about that. So, as usual, thanks for the comments. I'm tossing the mail call paperwork to the side there. Got some emails. I'm trying to sift through those, so hopefully we can get those up on the next show. So let me. We got some logistics to unpack with all this stuff here.
This is the episode with the most amount of sheets of paper I've printed off my computer that I've ever done.
You and I both, for the listeners' benefit, have a stack of paperwork to include a whole bunch of descriptions of a whole bunch of different bikes that meet various categories, so we can kind of do a shootout of used motorcycles for $3,500 and keep it entertaining.
Dude, there's no shortage of them, which is the amazing thing.
Yeah.
But it took some sifting to find the right ones, you know?
I've been saying for months now that I want to do this show. Like, we need to talk about used bikes again. And you were just like, dude, I'm thinking about this thing. And I'm like, oh, that's a great idea. And I think it's a good time. So I think I wouldn't say that the used market is back to normal, but some serious deals are starting to come out of the woods. And I was surprised by some of the stuff I found here. So,
Yeah. Yeah.
let's see here. So to get started, the ground rules were must be $3,500 or less, must be listed in, we'll say, the last couple weeks, because you and I have been working on this for about a week and a half. Undoubtedly, by the time that this airs, some of these are going to be gone already. So I'm going to try to actually get this one out sooner than I would normally do, so that people can hear some of this stuff. Based on the description, you and I are both assuming that these bikes run and are rideable, unless we're getting scammed by one that's not. Because I was like, that's a scam. There's no way this bike is real. So yeah, there were a couple that I'm like, man, that would be a good bike, but no. Adventure bikes, ADV touring bikes, and I guess I kind of have like ADV capable motorcycles on here, because I think you and I discussed a couple bikes that kind of fit the touring range, but they're not really adventure-y.
Yeah.
And then you and I are saying these are true, real marketplace listings. And so we're going to read some of the descriptions of the stuff that's in here. So you and I we're actually going to say 5 categories, but I'll talk about that in a minute. But the first real category we're going to talk about is odd birds. And then after that, it'll be sport and ADV touring. And then after that will be bland sensibility. And then
That's the category where people get offended that their bike falls into a category.
Solid. Then after that will be serious contenders. So, all right. But before we get into odd birds, I'm going to cover a dime a dozen. I don't know if you put any of these on there. You might have put them under sensible affordability or whatnot. But was there a couple bikes that you just saw absolutely everywhere for $3,500 or less?
Yeah, and you're gonna spoil some of my bikes in my list, but yeah, there were bikes where it was like, oh, if I was looking for this specific motorcycle, it would actually be hard to pick, because there's no less than 20 of them within a 50-mile range of my house, you know?
Okay.
It's kind of crazy. What about you?
I made a list, and I did not include any of these motorcycles on my list because there are so many of them that I'm like, there's no point in talking about them from my perspective. So we'll see what happens.
Yeah.
If you want a KLR 650, you can pretty much get everything except a current generation one for $3,500. And for $4,000, you can get a current generation one. Like it's nuts. If you want a BMW 650, if you want an F650, if you want a G650, you can absolutely get that. If you want a Ewan and Charlie 1150 GS, you can get one of those for $3,500. They're all over the place. If you want first generation V-Stroms or Versys or what is it, V-Stroms 1000, like you can get all of those for $3,500. They're all over the place. So
there's definitely a smorgasbord of motorcycles to answer the question of, can you get into this for $3,500? You absolutely can get into this for $3,500.
Yeah, it's pretty straightforward. So, opening round, sir. Odd birds. What's one of your 2 picks for odd birds?
Well, odd birds for me, I actually love that it's called an odd bird, because my brother owned one of these bikes. I did too shortly, but he owned one, and it was red, and we nicknamed it the Big Red Angry Bird, because it was a 1995 BMW R1100 GS. And it looks like the Big Red Angry Bird, and the way he pounded that thing into the ground in Colorado, it looks like it was being thrown at rocks like the video game too. So this example here I actually really considered this bike. It's probably 30-minute drive from my house. I really considered this bike. Is a 95 1100 GS. $2,300 gets you a BMW Boxer with 66,000 miles on it. Had some heated grips, tires, up-to-date services. This guy I actually talked back and forth with. He had done a ton of desirable work to it, expensive work, new clutch, new main seal. The brakes were rebuilt, all kinds of stuff that he had done to it. And he had just gotten older and couldn't ride that heavy of a motorcycle anymore. Has side bags and a big, huge, ugly barn door of a windscreen. The Aeroflow windscreen. They literally
Mod
called it.
Stod.
Oh, that would be one too. Yeah, Aeroflow was the original barn
Yeah.
door windscreen. But the drawback to this bike is it's a 95, so it did have those early GS 1100s
Yeah.
had a less desirable, weaker transmission. They upgraded that like a year or two later.
Let's unpack some of the like reality beyond the posting here as we get into it.
Yep, for sure.
So 66,000 miles, 2,300 bucks, 1995 BMW 1100 GS.
Yep, really clean. It looked great.
That is impressive. So
Yep.
on a scale of 0 to 10, would you ride this bike to Alaska?
Yeah, I would. Yeah.
So what's your scale rating here?
That's probably going to be are we talking as is?
Yeah.
Like as is, I'm going to go with probably an 8 on this one.
All right. He says an 8.
Yeah. The thing stopping me is the seat because it's a stock seat and I know that they suck.
That's a pretty deep conversation. Based on your description, I'm going to say 6. 0 to 10, I'm going to say 6. Do I get on this bike and ride to Alaska? That's pretty low miles for that bike, though.
It is.
I'm impressed by that. So
yeah, man, it is.
All right.
I'm curious what's stopping you from riding it to Alaska, or you want to cover that later?
No, that's good. That's a good later discussion. I like that.
All right,
So
fair.
I've got a list of, I don't know what, 5 bikes to choose from here, but I will pick only 2, and I'm going to fire back at your 1990 whatever 1100, and I'm going to say a 1990 KLR B10 Guy.
Ooh, dude, nice.
$2,500. Is it Clairton, Pennsylvania? The description says inspected and ready to ride. That's it. I don't think that's a scam, but there weren't a lot of pictures with it. But I saw that bike and I went, that's an odd bird. Like you don't see a lot of those.
How much was it
KLRs on there.
again?
$2,500.
And it didn't have anything with it, just stock, basically.
Not much on that posting. It was probably one of the first postings I saved, actually. So.
Yep, that's a cool bike. If you guys don't know what that is, it's TENGAI. Cool bike.
Yeah. I'm hoping. Now we'll talk about that later. Would I ride this bike to Alaska tomorrow? I'm gonna give it a 5, and I'm gonna say that probably because posting's not great. What do you think, based on my verbal description, sir?
Based on your verbal description, as much as I love that motorcycle, would I ride it to Alaska? It doesn't have any luggage, dude.
Fair enough.
So if we're seriously going to do this as is, which I'm not sure is a fair assessment, I'm going to have to
That's probably
go.
a better way to say it. Like without rebuilding absolutely everything, would you throw bags on it and ride it to Alaska tomorrow?
Okay. All right. I think it's even more fair when it's $2,300 and our budget was $3,500. You have a little bit of money to play with. Do you feel what I'm saying?
Fair. Yeah. I get
Okay.
what you're saying.
So I think a 5 is fair. I would go with a 5 on that.
All right. So we're saying 5. All right. What's your next contender, sir?
All right. My next contender, I'm going to really enjoy seeing where we go with this because this was a 2003, one of my favorite bikes of all time. And 640 Adventure KTM. 3,500 bucks, dude. I remember not long ago you could not get into one of these for less than 6 or 7 grand. So this puppy has 20,000 miles on it. It's an 03, which by the way was when they did a major engine modification, which was an upgraded bearing in the main shaft, right? So that's a big plus. It does have a lowering link on it, which is a huge negative. That's a negative, right? But it's got a skid plate, a Leo Vinci exhaust. It's got Cycra Pro Bend handguards. He's got a secondary cooling fan, all the manuals, engine rebuild manual, an Oberon clutch slave cylinder. He's got some really rare, really cool carbon fiber tank protectors on there. He's got luggage racks. I didn't see bags, but he's got racks available on there. And brand new battery, fresh carburetor build. So he's had this bike for 10 years. I don't know how many owners it's had, but this guy's had it for 10 years. So again, 2003 640 Adventure in Rochester, Minnesota for 3,500 bucks. 20,000 miles. What do you think, dude?
0 to 10. Are you riding it to Alaska tomorrow?
3.
Wow.
Yep.
Wow.
Yep. Yep. And yeah, I've had so many of them. I don't think the comfort is there for me at almost age 50 to ride that thing with its paint shakeriness and all that good stuff to Alaska. So rad bike, but I don't know.
Based on your description, I'm actually going to give that a 6. I'm
Dang.
amazed. I'm amazed.
Wow. That's impressive, dude. I did not see that going that way. I
No.
gotta say, for local Johnson riding around within, a day's ride,
Yeah.
all day long. But have you ever ridden a 640 Adventure?
I was going to say I may regret that decision with the paint shakerness later,
Yeah,
but
well, by the way, it's got a stock seat, so yeah.
We got to compare these 4 bikes later, so we'll come back to that. I'm going to answer with, because we're talking odd birds, and I've got some good runners up that we'll talk about in the subscription section. 2000 Kajiva Grand Canyon.
Dude.
$2,500. Walnut, Illinois. 28,000 miles. The bike runs excellent. New back tire. Recently timing belts, valve adjustments, tune up by Ducati mechanic. New tires and fuel pump.
Interesting. That's a pretty rad bike.
As I said, it's odd birds. That actually, when I pasted that on the list, that's when the segment started to kind of like take shape. That I was like, oh yeah, that's some weird stuff for under $3,500.
You gotta want to work on that Joker yourself, I think.
Yeah, due to that situation, I'm also going to say we're going to call that a 3 from me. Would I get on that bike and ride it to Alaska tomorrow? Low mileage, and supposedly, if all that stuff was done by a Ducati mechanic, we got most of the engine stuff looked at, hopefully. But it's very very European.
I may have to say a 3 as well. Yeah, I think
I was
that's
waiting
a
for you to
better
say
assessment.
0.
I don't think I'd give it a 0, but it'd be, if I owned that and my aforementioned 640 Adventure, it would be a really hard decision which one to take. Yeah.
That's funny stuff. All right, so that is odd birds, and I gotta hold on to this paperwork here so we don't lose that, so we can circle back to those things here.
Yeah, you guys are going to hear papers shuffling this entire episode, and there's nothing you can do about it.
All right, let's talk sport touring, or excuse me, sport/ADV touring.
Yes.
So this section is touring, but not American Grand Touring. So I didn't include any road glides or anything like that in here, but I have a couple sport tours and a lot of 17-inch wheels on adventure bikes and whatnot that I've thrown in here. So what are you leading with, sir?
Dude, the king of this category for me is the 2008 Triumph Tiger 1050 that I found.
Oh man, I hope this is the same one I have. Go on.
Is it orange?
I don't remember what color it is. I have the stats written down.
Mine is mine's got 50,000 miles on it.
Okay, they're not the same.
No, this is in Georgia too. I looked at this bike.
Go ahead.
Actually, this isn't. He said he got this bike from Tennessee. Interesting. Okay. Rode it all the way back. Just did another ride a couple weeks ago. That was 5 hours. He's like giving us a break, like ride reports now in his ad, which is hilarious. It's very fast, and the triple engine is a blast to use. He's absolutely right about that. The only issue, the absolute quote only issue, is that it has front blinkers act as hazards, both blinking when signaling left or right. It could be a very simple fix, but I just don't have the time to fix it. Other than that, it's turnkey and ready for the next road trip. So I don't know, man. You gotta figure out what's going on with your blinker/hazards, but he does have an aftermarket pipe. It does have matching hard cases on it. And grips. That's 50,000 is nothing to kind of scoff at, But dude, this was such an underrated motorcycle, man. So smooth, such a phenomenal sport touring bike. What do you think?
I think, in my opinion, I have a better 1050 than you do. But we'll save that for the subscriber section.
Throw it out there.
Yeah, we can do it that way. So I'm going to pick something different, but. A Tiger 1050, especially when I ride it to Alaska tomorrow, I'm probably gonna go with I think I go with an 8. Actually,
Yeah.
I'm pretty comfortable with that.
Yeah. I'm going to copy you on that one too. I'm going with an 8 on that. Yep. It's a great bike.
It's a very reliable machine. Like very, I know many people who have that many miles on theirs, and
Yep.
they would ride to Alaska tomorrow.
Yep.
Like, yeah, that bike's
Yep.
really good.
Yep. No doubt about it, man.
I'm gonna fire back with a favorite of mine that, looking at this listing, I'm even debating about. 2013 Triumph Trophy SE. That's the 1250 engine that's in the Tiger 1200.
Yep.
$3,200. Boiling Springs, South Carolina. 34,000 miles. Great condition. He says gets 55 miles to the gallon. Everything works great. New front tire, new aftermarket exhaust. I have the stock pipe. Recent oil change. Full service history. Has aftermarket LED. I don't know, DRLs, whatever that is.
Driver lights.
Oh yeah, you got me. Installed in comfort backrest. Radio and Bluetooth works great. Have records. 20K service done by Triumph. 30K service done by Triumph. Bike is wired for Gerbing's heated gear. Sell for $3,200. Open to trades on a cruiser bike, zero turn mower or low hours,
A zero turn mower.
cars
This guy's
or trucks.
He's asking for the opposite of what I put in my ads. I'm like, no zero turns, no ATVs, no guns.
Oh man, I need to. Yeah, you need to talk to some of your other landscaping buddies and find out how we can do a horse trade here, where I can have you guys
Dude.
go down to South Carolina with a zero turn and get me a Triumph trophy.
Right? Exactly, man. What year did you say this trophy was?
2013. I got a
all
friend
right.
with a 14, so
Yeah.
like, yeah, it's got more miles on his 14 than this, as a matter of fact. So
Yeah, yeah.
I'm,
Interesting.
man, I don't know if I want to go with an 8 or a 9. Would I ride this to Alaska tomorrow? Let's say 8, only because it doesn't have a 19 or 21 inch front wheel.
Ooh, so you would take that or the Tiger 1050 equally to Alaska? I can't do
No.
it, dude. I'm probably a 7 on that.
You're a 7 on the trophy, huh?
Yeah, I think I'm a 7.
Interesting. I actually feel more comfortable on the trophy than I do the Tiger, but it's, a scale to 1 to 10. That's a tough one.
Yep.
The trophies have, anyway, we can get into the weeds about trophy heavier and everything else, but
That's
no,
all right.
that's funny. All right. What do you, what's your next best choice for this
All
category,
right, dude.
sir?
Well, this is a bike that you ruined my fun with because you mentioned it at the very beginning with the dime a dozen. But, dude, Versys 650s are literally a dime a dozen. There are no less than 800,000 of them within 6,
Oh, yeah.
blocks of my house. It's crazy.
There may or may not be something similar to that in my bland sensibility section. Go ahead.
I struggled on where to put it. I did, but it nonetheless.
It is a 17-inch front wheel. I think that's a good spot
It
for
is,
it.
and dude, I've run with some cats that when this bike came out, they were spanking sport bikes on this bike.
Yeah.
So it's very, very capable motorcycle. This particular one is a a 2010. It's $3,000, which was actually on the high side of the pricing for this bike. But I went with this one because, first of all, it's all black instead of that weird blue
Yeah.
color. and
Those
I
are
don't-
more rare. I haven't seen a lot of those. Yeah.
Yeah, the same. It's got 8,700 miles, 2 owners. It's loaded with stuff, dude. It's got a nice Corbin seat. It's got Givi bags, 3-piece bags on there. Plenty of power to cruise the highway all day long, according to the seller, which is awesome.
It is true
Yeah.
on Versys engine.
Yeah, no doubt. Engine guard in a Givi windshield, and by the way, a clean title, so he doesn't have a loan on this bike. But yeah, man, for $3,000, I think that you're getting a really phenomenal back roads ripper, honestly.
And your 0 to 10 ride to Alaska.
I'm gonna go with a 7 on this one. I'm a 7.
with a 7.
Yeah, man, I think you're gonna have a lot of reliability, some pretty good comfort on this Joker. And, it'll look cool when you get some dead mosquitoes blast all over that giant ass GV windscreen. What about you?
At the risk of copying you, I'm
Yeah.
also going to say a 7. And I'll make an
Solid.
argument that it's a better choice than some of the other ones we're taking. But do I want to ride that bike? I'm going to say 7. So there's that.
You gotta want to ride it. That's for sure.
I got some tough choices, and I'd love to talk about Tigers, but I'm going to skip over those just because I think it will be more interesting. 2008 Moto Guzzi Stelvio 1200. $3,200. Canton, Georgia.
You totally stole my motorcycle, dude.
Oh, well,
Yes,
I'll
sir.
pick another one if you want.
No, you can keep going. Go with it.
right.
That's all right.
50,000 miles. I don't know what 2008 rollarized is anyway, but he's
I don't
talking
know
about
what that is either. I tried to figure out what
I don't know what we're
polarized
talking
was.
about here. Touring bike, great running 2008 Stelvio 1200 4-valve, blah, blah, blah. Big Italian adventure bike. It's just like an advertisement for the actual bike.
Yep.
All fluids were changed at the recent service, including engine oil, transmission, rear shaft fluid. Has brand new rear tire with 100 miles on it. Shaft drive means no chain maintenance. No kidding. Perfect for long distance touring. Equipped with hard case luggage, heated grips, fog lights, making a great setup for touring or commuting or cold weather. I feel like AI wrote this. Comfortable upright riding position, large fuel tank for long range, and plenty of power on the highway, cruising, back road exploring. Runs strong, shifts smoothly. Sounds great. Like a proper Moto Guzzi should. May trade for a 4-stroke dirt bike. I really feel like AI wrote that.
I have to tell you though, this guy put like 20 pictures on his ad. Like this was a really good ad, dude.
Yeah.
I actually seriously thought about buying this motorcycle. Canton, Georgia's the next town over.
Wow.
Yeah, it's clean. There's no Moto Guzzi dealer. I don't even know where one is. I don't know that much about them, but they're supposed to be reliable. It's a clean looking bike, dude. Good choice.
There is a goofy thing with there's a weird engine thing with Moto Guzzis, and I need my buddy Mike to remind me which year and era that's in, but they did have a goofy engine thing in the Stelvio. My buddy Mike has one. He may listen to the show. I don't remember. So Mike, if you're listening to this episode, leave a comment.
Tell us
I'm going to give this, I think I'm going to give this a 6. Purely for the Moto Guzzi factor. I love the Moto Guzzi engine, but I think I need to spend more time on one to agree that I want to ride this to Alaska versus a Versys 650 or a Tiger 1050.
This is a bike that I'm giving a 9 on riding to Alaska. Yeah. Yeah, I'm not kidding, Drew. I seriously thought about going to the next town and buying this motorcycle.
Yeah.
I got it saved on my Facebook marketplace and everything. I think it's not going to let you down. Again, look, I'm not a Moto Guzzi expert, and if I was really going to go buy it, I would dig into the history and figure all that stuff out. So short of knowing, somebody knowing something I don't, I really like this bike, and when it came out, it was really good looking, and I think it still holds up. It's got good lines. It's a pretty bike.
I've been eyeballing one for a long time. Like I said, if I'm talking about spending $3,500, that Stelvio and that Trophy both have my eye, despite some other bikes that are interesting in that field that I had picked as well. So
Yeah.
All right, sir. Bland sensibility, unsexy but good bikes.
Well, I'm going to go ahead and jump in with this one before you take it.
Wise man. That's why I gave you the first shot.
So this is actually another bike that I really strongly considered going to grab. This is a 2006 V-Strom 650 first generation 2750. This is not far from me. It's in Hayesville, North Carolina. 10,650 miles on it. Real short ad. Basically, he says what the bike is. He says it's in excellent condition, 10,650 miles, garage kept, well cared for, located in Hayesville. That's it. That's the info you get. He's got 4 pictures. Dude, this bike has nothing on it. It's bone stock, nothing. It is the cleanest first gen DL650 that I have ever seen. And I figured I could put $800 into this with luggage and a couple other different things and ride the crap out of this motorcycle, dude. And I thought about doing just that. So what do you think?
I'm over here debating, like, how do I put it on do I want to ride it to Alaska, 0 to 1, do 0 to 10? What's your vote on this?
I'm a 10.
He's a 10, boys and girls.
I'm a 10. This bike is never, dude, 10,000 miles. This bike is never going to die. You could put money into luggage and maybe some different tires, then it comes on there, and a seat, and you are golden, dude. Golden. Is it pretty? No. It's hideous. But it's going to get the job done. You're going to have a good time.
I'm going to give it a 7.
Lame.
It's capable of so much more. Same story, though. I just don't want to ride it to Alaska, even though it's a great bike.
Damn, I figured the cheapskate in you would have loved this bike.
I think the age is probably the biggest thing. If you told me it was the first of the first year of the previous gen, like I have a 2014 V-Strom on my list,
Yeah,
which
yeah,
I'm
yeah.
not picking, but that I have one on that list. So if you want me to pick it up in Glasgow, Kentucky for under $35 and deliver it to you, you let me know.
I hear you, man.
We'll
Yep.
talk about that one later.
Fair enough score though.
What am I going to lead with? Bland sensibility. I think the winner in this area is, for me anyway, 2017 Kawasaki Versys X300.
All right.
$3,100, Princeton, Kentucky, 3,400 miles. Selling my Versys 300 with low miles. Bike is ready to go. Comes with 3 extra tires, shorter windshield, and trailer hitch bike carrier. I bought a gold wing and don't need 2 bikes. Also have an alarm system installed. Okay, that freaks me out a little bit, but that's a different discussion.
I love that he has Versus 300 and a gold wing. I don't need 2 bikes that do the exact same thing, you fools.
Yeah. You want a bike carrier and a Versys 300X for $3,100. That's,
Dude, he should just carry it behind his gold wing with that bike carrier. That'd be awesome.
if only that was possible on that rear. 0 to 10, do I ride it to Alaska? I 100% believe I could safely do it. Don't think twice about it. I think I'm going to rate it at an 8 because I don't really want to that bad.
You're way higher than I would be on that bike, dude. Yeah, I don't doubt that it's going to do it. I don't doubt that people have done it. I don't doubt any of its capabilities, to be honest with you. It's too small of a motorcycle for me to go from Atlanta, Georgia, all the way to, Alaska. Nah, I'm good. I need a little bit more oomph for my.
You giving it a 4?
Yeah, I am. I'm giving it a 4. Yeah. Yeah,
You
I
and I
don't want to
know each
ride
other
one.
too well.
Yeah, I don't want to ride one. Yeah, I'm surprised you ranked it as high as you did, but
I like little bikes.
I know
and
you
it's
do.
funny
You're
because
such a weirdo.
the comments on the show have been more and more about that, and it's like I like smaller motorcycles. It's just a thing.
Drew likes little bikes, and he can't deny.
That's right. I like to race fat bikes, and I like to ride little bikes long
You
distances.
are messed up in the head.
I'm
man.
the odd bird, apparently. What's your number 2 pick here?
All right, dude. My number 2 pick for bland sensibility, 2001 Triumph Tiger 955i.
Oh man, now I have to go back at my list for sport tours. Did I have that one on there?
It's a good sport tour too. And honestly, this bike's not really that bland. It's just that this is what they called the girly Tiger. I had like an '03 model. I love this motorcycle. I love the engine.
It's
We've
good.
talked about it on the show before.
Yeah.
It's an underrated bike. But this one in particular is at a dealer of some sort in Greer, South Carolina. I had to go look it up because she basically said, "This is Alicia with D2 Power Sports of Greer. PM me for more information. Dealer fees not included." But that's all it said, and it had like 3 lame pictures. But it looked clean from what I could see of the pictures. It's bare bones. It has luggage racks. That's it. 1999. Less than $2,000, $1 less than $2,000. Of course, you got to factor in your dealer fees, dude. That is
you're
a
well under
lot
$3,500.
of bike.
Yeah,
100%. Now the ad didn't say the mileage. I actually went to their website and looked it up. 70,000 miles. So it's a lot of miles, dude. It's a lot of miles. But man, at $2,000, dude, you almost can't lose on that thing.
Yeah, this has turned into the gambler Alaska run, right? Like for $2,000, would you ride this to Alaska?
Yeah. I mean, it's a gamble on this one. I mean, if this was a 20,000 mile Tiger girly, I'd be like probably a 10. Let's go, dude. This one, there's some unknowns. I'm not too sure. I'm going with a 5 on this one myself.
Okay. I feel bad, but I'm gonna say 3, and I think it's only because it's 70K, and I know those bikes have electrical issues.
Really? I never had an electrical issue. I had an out headlight that died out, but my bike had a blown head gasket or something.
Yeah.
Yeah, it happens.
I'm looking
8. That's
forward to
like max
talking
torque.
about more about those bikes because I've got one on my list, so we can unpack some of that later.
Yes, sir. Yes,
I
sir.
got tough choices because I got some pretty cool bikes in this category. You can get a KTM 390 Adventure nowadays. I got Versys and V-Stroms in here. I'm sure listeners will be shocked to know that I found a 2021 Royal Enfield Himalayan for a halfway decent deal.
You're calling a 390 Adventure a bland sensibility?
Have you been on Marketplace lately?
Well, I have. I have. I guess we're talking previous gen 390
That's what I'm
Adventures.
saying. Like if you
Okay.
if you want
Okay.
a first gen 390 Adventure, yeah, for $3,500, you could have one.
Yep. Fair, fair, fair.
But the bland sensibility that I really think is the move here is 2016 Honda CB500X for $3,400.
Yep.
Honda's 17-inch front wheel, essentially sport tour adventure bike, whatever it is. I've had a thing for that bike for a long time. If modifying one wasn't so expensive, I would have bought one instead of the T7 just because I like little bikes. We're getting into it here. Anyway, Tobaccoville, North Carolina, 7,700 miles.
Wow.
This is the usual stuff. Great shape, adult owned, garage kept. We'll consider a trade for any motorcycle that is lower to the ground. LED lights, new battery, less than a month old. Just
Lower
serviced.
to the ground. How low's the CB500X, dude?
I'd have to look that up. I don't know if we've ever talked about that on the show. We've talked about the newer version because in 2019 they put a 19-inch front wheel on it.
Okay.
So I don't know how low the other ones are. Just service, have tires with less than 800 miles on them, adjustable levers, nice eBay slip-on with DV killer. Nice eBay slip-on.
Nice eBay slip on.
Sounds
right.
great. Have original exhaust, factory center stand, chain lubed every 300 miles. Very nice
That is
factory.
impressive. That is an
that fits-
impressive commitment to chaining.
Is there an association between lubing the chain every 300 miles and wanting a lower bike than the one you have now? Tell me without telling me.
Oh, dude, if you were the guy selling this bike, I'm really sorry for laughing at that, but there's no way you lubed a chain every 300 miles.
Oh, there's a way. I'm telling you right here.
Scott
Very,
Oiler.
very nice factory matte black paint. Has a nick and a scratch. Been in the woods with the bike. Oh, I'm sorry. I totally read that the wrong way initially. I thought you said he never went into the woods. But as you can see from the pics, it's in excellent condition, clean title in hand.
Wow.
I think the CB500X, I don't think it's necessarily the poster child for bland sensibility, but Honda definitely has that particular persona.
Yep.
I'm going to go 9, ride this to Alaska tomorrow.
Wow. All right.
Yeah. But we know I'm in the tank for this bike. I really liked him.
That's okay. I think I would ride that bike or the Versys 650 equally. So I gave that a 7. I'm going to go with a 7 on this one too.
All right.
Yep.
Totally fair.
I think you're spot on. I think it's a good choice for all that. And
It'll
especially
do the
if I
job,
have a
but you might
big
not
ass
want to.
can of chain lube for every 300 miles, dude.
That chain's probably in such good a shape you could ride it all the way to Alaska and home and do nothing to it. All right.
That's amazing.
gonna
That guy would
skip-
throw up in his helmet if he saw my chain.
Skipping to the next section, and I only had 3 contenders here. So let's find out if you've made any choices that I have made. So hit me with your first one, sir.
Well, I had a contender. It was the Wait, which category are we in? Serious contenders, right?
Serious contenders, motorcycles
Yeah.
that I would actually spend my money on.
Yes, I would. I was gonna say that Moto Guzzi. I would have actually spent the money on that bike, but you stole it from me, so I'm gonna write that off. I'm gonna replace it with a motorcycle that I never actually really thought about owning, but I saw this ad and it just jumped at me because it's a 2010 BMW F800 GS for $3,000, dude. Which I've never seen one that low. Now,
No, I
admit-
looked for them. I looked
you?
really hard for them. Oh yeah, I was struggling to find one.
He started off at $5,000 and now he's willing to take $3,000. So that's a punch to the solar plexus if there ever was one, right? But so there's some drawbacks and some pros to this con. First of all, it's got a recluse clutch, a 7-liter auxiliary tank, full crash bars, new all-terrain tires, custom adjustable carbon fiber windscreen. Every time I look, I remember something. I don't know if he remembers just something in his life or something about the bike, or I'm not sure, but he remembers something every time he looks at it.
I'm over here like wanting to Google, do they make a recluse for that bike?
I
Anyway,
don't
go
know.
on.
I don't know why you'd want one, but here it is. 44,000 miles, 2010, $3,000. He has 2 pictures, both of which totally suck. And it's in Florida, Weirsdale, Florida. So you're going to have to ask the seller some questions and do your homework, right? But I really felt like even with the terrible ad, the terrible pictures, it's got some interesting extras.
Yeah.
And, it's a Florida bike. You got to look for some rusty fasteners, that sort of thing. Dude, I would ride an F800 GS to Alaska.
I think this and the Tengai are both on the blurry edges of do we think these are real? But I'm good with it. So give me your estimate. What do you think? You thinking an 8 or a 9 to ride to Alaska tomorrow?
I'm thinking maybe. I think I'd give this one a 7.
7, he says.
I think I'm a 7. Yeah, because I don't know enough about it, and I don't know. I'm a little nervous that he has all-terrain tires, which tells me this is probably an ATV guy. He does have an Arai XD4. This is an important detail, Drew. He's got a high-vis Arai XD4 perched on his mirror in one of the pictures. So he's not buying the cheapest crap you can buy. You know what I mean? It's a really confusing advertisement.
Yeah. I want to give it a 7, but I think I'm giving it a 6 just because something seems sketchy about it to me.
Think? It might be, man.
Something about it. So.
I don't know. Ohio is the northern Florida, so you
oh my God.
Be onto something.
If listeners have not done this already, go into a bar in Florida and say OH. And when they respond, say, you're in a cult.
I don't know what you're talking about, but all right.
If any people in Ohio know exactly what I'm talking about, and people in Florida probably also know what I'm talking about. Amazing. So leave comments and send hate mail, especially on that topic, to motoadvr@gmail.com.
Hit me back, brother.
Number 1 pick, and it's probably what drove me to this. You already came up with the idea for this episode, and this was probably the very first bike that I found. 2013 Triumph Tiger 800. $3,400.
What?
Zanesville, Ohio. 3,100, 30,000. Wow, I have English real good with that. Yep. Anyway, 31,000 miles.
Nothing.
So this is the Tiger Roadie, way back, the very first generation Tiger 800 triple. So it's a Roadie. Crash bars, windscreen, full luggage, Leo Vince exhaust and tune, heated grips, skid plate. Everything is in great condition for its age. Only selling, trading because I'm interested in other bikes. Willing to trade for FZ07, FZ09, or similar bikes. No hurry to sell. Still enjoy riding this daily, weather permitted. Complete service for the last 2 years. Valve adjusted. Throttle body synced, battery, suspension, fork oil. Possibly sell for less without some of its accessories. That's a solid deal. I've wanted a Tiger 800 for a long time.
How much again?
$3,400.
And what year was it?
2013.
And the mileage?
31,000 miles.
Okay. And he's had the valves done. So that's like by the way, that's like a $1,300 service.
Yeah, because the triples, those particular triples sucked to do valves on. Yeah. And to me, for him to list throttle body sync and whatnot, that's not one that people typically talk about.
Right.
Like spammers put a lot of shit in, and you can Google stuff on the internet, but that's one that I don't think I've ever seen throttle body sync in a listing for a used bike anywhere. So I'm pretty pumped about that.
Yeah, man. You riding that thing to Alaska, dude?
I'm giving that a 10.
Yeah, that's honestly, that's probably a 10. That's a good one. Yeah.
I mean, you had that bike at one point, right? I think you had an XC, but
I had an XC. It wasn't the Roadie. That's the only drawback on that bike, is that it's the Roadie, so which has the mag wheels or whatever. But those fetch a lesser money. That's why you were able to find it for $3,400. If it was an XC, it would have been another grand easily, right?
So when one of these bikes hits $2,500, I'm probably going to get in trouble. That's probably what's going to happen to me.
Yeah.
So, all right, what's your option 2, man?
All right, man. My option 2, dude. This is gonna be. I gotta be honest with you. I busted my budget by $100, or by. Yeah, I went to $3,600 for this one.
I'll allow it.
All right, because I'm gonna drink a little less Starbucks. I'm gonna drink a little less Starbucks and a little more instant coffee when I'm riding on a 2008 BMW 1200 GS. Adventure for $3,600.
That's a pretty solid deal, because the best one I found was a 07 for $3,000. So yeah, that's a pretty solid deal for Oh no, it's a base model. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yep. This is the Adventure. It's got 62,000 miles on it, and it's got a nice comfy seat, no bags, but it's got like a couple other things, some heated grips, some crash bars, some cylinder head guards, that sort of thing. Nothing too much. One other owner prior to this guy, and I happen to know because I called this guy and talked to him that the other owner passed away, and he bought this in an estate sale, and it's too big for him. So yeah, I'm going to be taking this bike off of Marketplace myself.
Ooh.
And maybe one day I will ride it to Alaska. I don't know. So I'm giving this a 10 all day long.
How many miles on this thing?
62,000.
62,000 miles, 2008 GSA.
Yep. So you have to know that in 2008, they made a couple upgrades to this motorcycle, right? It's got a sharper steering. It's got, the big thing is no more servo brakes, which I'm not going to get into the servo brakes, but anybody that knows about GSs knows how shitty those servo brakes are. I had a bike with servo brakes. They're awful. They got away with that. Dude, it's a one owner bike. The drawback is this joker's in Wisconsin. My brother's going to fetch this thing for me this weekend so I can collect it in Louisville.
Yeah.
It's one of those planes, trains, and automobiles types of things. But yeah,
He's halfway there. That's funny.
Is.
100%. Yeah. Like I said, I found a better deal, lower mileage 07 model. So I will not be picking that. Sorry, I don't think I answered. I'm also going to give that a 10.
Yes,
That
sir.
is, for this particular bike, for that price on Marketplace, that's very low miles. I've seen a lot of $3,500, $1,200 GSs with over 100,000 miles on them listed. So that's a good deal.
I could put
low mileage
40,000
GSA.
miles on this bike and make my money back.
Yeah.
Like, no problem, I don't think,
Yeah. No,
I'm looking forward
sold.
to it. And big props to my brother for going up there and snagging it for me.
Yeah. Yeah. Hopefully by the time this airs, this will be a real story.
Yes, sir.
Not fictitious. Since you
put a
picked the
deposit
1200
on it
GS,
already, so it's mine.
that's the way to do it right there.
Yep,
Different
yep.
podcast pending.
Otherwise, I would not be telling the world about it.
Nope, I heard that. So, which leaves me with my final choice, which matches the theme of the show, which I think will end up being the second youngest motorcycle that we've discussed thus far.
Ooh.
Actually, now that oh no, we'll talk different double nothing. Anyway, 2018 Honda CRF 250L Rally 3499.
Oh, wow. Okay.
And it sounds goofy, but to me, that's actually as sad as it is. I don't think that bike should cost that much, but Marketplace does. It's really hard to find a 250L or 300L Rally right now that's not $200 below MSRP. It's getting better, but yeah, it's silly. So Columbia, Missouri, 4,000 miles, new tire, bark busters, 1-inch risers, 1-inch lowering link, aftermarket upgraded seat. Honda says 60 to 70 miles per gallon. I concur. That's true. Miles of smiles is a thing. That's true. Has it ever been dropped? Yes, it's a dirt. Oh, I forgot about this. Has it ever been dropped? Yes, it's a dirt bike. Does it have any scratches? Yes, it's a dirt bike. Can I take it off road? Yes, it's a dirt bike. Frankly, I've had one. It's definitely not a dirt bike. This is actually a dealer. I forgot about that. It's a dealer listing. So it's $34.99, no extra fees, no extra runaround. It's the out the door price. So,
Where's that listed at?
Columbia, Missouri.
Nice.
Yeah. So I've got links to every one of these. So ideally, that's shareable at some point. And
Are
ideally
you riding that to Alaska, though?
I'm going to give that an 8. I will ride
my
that to Alaska.
God, you and I are so different at times. It's hilarious.
I did 500 miles on my 250 just the other day, and that bike is more comfortable than my 250 to go to Alaska. I've put 10,000 miles on a 250L in the past. Like, yeah,
My back
I like small
hurts
bikes.
just
So.
thinking about this, man.
You give it a 3?
No, I don't give it a 3 because I gave the 640 Adventure a 3, and I think it's going to be better. I would take it before I took the 640, so I'm going to give it a 4.
Fair enough.
Yeah,
That's funny.
but I think that's a solid bike. Like I don't want my low score to take away from anybody that would ride that bike to
Right.
Alaska. It just ain't for me.
Yeah, so that is the end of the first round, as it were, which is actually a great opportunity for us to probably take a quick commercial break. So appreciate everybody hanging in there. So what we're going to do when we get back from the break is we're going to choose one winner from every category, and then after that, we're going to pick the overall winner. So give us 2 seconds here. Let's pay some bills, and we'll catch you guys in a minute. All right, thanks you guys for holding on. Welcome back to the show here. All right, so now we got to go back to odd birds. We got 4 choices here. We've got the Kajiva Grand Canyon, the KLR 10, your 1100 GS, and the 640 Adventure. On the scoreboard, it looks like technically the 1100 GS is the winner, but that's not always the deciding factor. What do you think of these 4? Which way are you leaning? If you want to call it the best choice of the odd birds, or the one that you're most likely to take to Alaska. And actually, I think I got some. Now we'll come back to the extra questions in the next round when we do the next round.
What was the other one you had besides the Kajiva?
The 1990 KLR B Tengai, which I said that's also on the gray edge of I think that's real, and I texted them and I asked them for the actual mileage and I didn't get an answer, so we'll see.
Oh, you didn't? That's a drag. Yeah. Dude, I think I really like that Tengai, man. I'm gonna go with the 1100 GS. I mean, I literally was that close to buying it, so and maybe I should have, but I didn't. So it's 1100 GS for me. Yep. Where do you fall?
I think when it comes to do I want to ride this bike to Alaska, I do think that you have the better choices. When it comes to odd birds, in my opinion, I think the Kajiva is probably the weirdest of the ones that are on here. So I think that's the gem for people who want to spend a little bit of money and get something interesting to put in the garage. So I'm not really sure which choice we want to make here in that case. So I think I can be swayed. I think I agree with you that the 1100 is a little quirky, especially because that was back in the BMW squinting days. If people are watching the video,
no, this one had the square headlight, dude.
Oh my God, I forgot.
Yeah, it was even before that. It was before the 1150, so that's why I called it a rare bird, because 1150s are actually dimes a dozen, right?
Yeah.
But the 1100, you do not see that motorcycle. It had 5 gears, not 6 gears, and it was bare bones. It was a base. I actually had one for a minute too. It was a very basic motorcycle, dude. So yeah, I think it's a rare bird worthy of winning this category.
All right, I will not make an argument with that. So sport/ADV touring. We're talking a Tiger 1050 versus a Versys 650 versus a Triumph Trophy versus a Moto Guzzi Stelvio. And on the scoreboard, this is hilarious. The scoring here is nuts. Tiger 1050 leads by 1 point. Trophy and Guzzi are tied. Versys is 1 point behind.
1 point? What?
Yeah. Wow. Yeah, it's funny. So it's 16, 14, sorry, 16, 15, 15, 14. That's the scoreboard.
That's insane.
Yeah,
That's
we
insane.
like these bikes.
We do. The Versys shouldn't be as high, but that Versys was decked, man. That thing was that's a screaming deal for a motorcycle that's never gonna die. Man, I'm gonna go with the bike that I really considered buying, which is that Moto Guzzi Stelvio for $3,200. That's like a heart. That's like an emotional purchase. I should pick the Versys 650, but I just can't do it when that beautiful Stelvio is sitting there looking at me.
So how do we make an argument for Stelvio versus Tiger 1050?
Ooh, man, it's really hard, dude. I don't know. To me, I don't think you're going to go wrong with either one of them. I think that, I don't know that you can make an argument. I think you have to go with whichever one stirs your soul, to be honest. And if you're going to go that route, I could be swayed to go with the Tiger 1050 because that engine is freaking dynamite, dude.
Oh, it's bonkers.
It's so smooth. It's so quick. It's a phenomenal motorcycle. I think that you're going to get the nod to up touring, which is actually why I am buying that GSA so my son can ride with me more. We didn't talk about that. That's going to get the nod given to the Stelvio. The Tiger 1050 has that really weird...
Oh, that
back end is sticking up, man. That thing is like a cat in heat, bro, with its booty up there, you know? So
that was a good one.
I don't know.
That was a good one.
That's funny because it's a Tiger too. I just made that up.
Yeah, that's a good one.
I'm pretty proud of that. I don't know, man. I don't know, dude. If you want to go Tiger 1050 on this, I could totally be convinced. I'm not passionate about them enough to matter. I'd be very thrilled with either one.
To me, it's tough. If we're talking sport ADV touring category, the Tiger 1050 to me is king out of the ones that we've listed here.
Yeah.
You could say that the trophy's king out of this thing, but I think as the adventure podcast, the Tiger 1050 is good, and I would struggle with those choices, especially since, like I said, I've got some good examples here.
Let's call it the Tiger 1050, man.
Is that what you're saying? All right, we're going to call it
the Tiger 1050. Dude, I'm really sorry to the mighty, beautiful Stelvio.
I can't believe how much passion we have in this category, and neither one of us have any of these bikes in our garage right now.
It is pretty crazy.
Funny.
Yeah,
it is funny.
But I'm saying, I thought about it. So,
bland sensibility, Kawasaki Versys 300, Honda CB500X, Kawasaki V-Strom 650, Triumph Tiger 955i. On the scoreboard, the V-Strom is leading, the Honda CB500X is next, and then the Versys X, and then the Tiger 955. That's the pecking order there.
That seems like the order they should be.
Yeah.
I
would personally rather have the CB500X than the Versys 650. That would be my pick. Especially
I
for
thought that
would
ranked
you ride
higher.
Alaska?
I'm sorry.
No, technically the V-Strom 650 is leading by 1 point.
Okay.
I would rather have the CB500X, but you could convince me. Like the Versys 650, the V-Strom 650 is a very good bike. But
I think the V-Strom is the winner. I do.
Yeah, you've ridden one before?
Yep. Oh, yeah.
If I've been on one, I think I've only been on one for a few minutes.
Dude, it has the SV650 engine in it. It's gonna go. It's gonna go forever. Now, look, I have not ridden the Honda. I know it has a cult following. It's a good bike. Like, I'm not taking anything away from that either. I know the SV, and I keep calling it an SV.
Yeah, V-Strom.
Yeah, my brother had an SV 1000 and a V-Strom 1000 first gen, so I always get them confused with each other. The SV 650, by the way, super underrated motorcycle as well. But man, I don't know. Again, it's funny because in every one of these categories, there's literally a bike in these lists that I really considered buying. Like the actual exact listing in that V-Strom, I really strongly considered going to buy that motorcycle. So that's the one that I would have bought.
I will concede that, especially if I'm going to Alaska, the extra poke of the 650 I think is fair.
Yes,
so
sir.
Let's call that the winner of that category there.
Wait, have I won every category so far?
No, you conceded to me on the previous one. You were going to go with the Stelvio, and we agreed that Tiger 1050 was actually the better choice.
That's true. Fair.
Serious contenders. So we've got your F800 GS, the 1200 GS that may or may not be yours by the time this airs, a Tiger 800 Roadie, and a CRF 250L Rally. And on the scoreboard, the GSA and the Tiger are in a dead heat for perfect scores, and then the F800 and then the 250L Rally is bringing up the rear. I think, the debate for serious contenders is a tough one, because I personally would rather have the Tiger than the 1200 GSA, but I can concede the 1200 GSA is one hell of a bike if we're talking about going to Alaska. And you're getting some pretty incredible value with that particular ride. You're getting a lot of CCs for not a lot of money.
That's a good way to look at it, man. I mean, what can I say, dude? I mean, I'm buying that motorcycle. I mean, that's the bike I would have to choose, you know. The Tiger, I love the Tigers, dude. There's nothing wrong with that. But every one of these bikes is super strong. I mean, you know. Yeah. But I'm buying the bike I'm buying.
Yeah, I think in this case, I mean, we're talking about a 1200 GSA. The miles are high, that's true, but you're getting it for $3,600. That engine is extremely proven, and the only really bad thing about that engine is dry clutch, but you're probably not going to see that for, quote, 100,000 miles, if I believe what the internet says. It never lies. So for $200, you're getting, for another 400 cc's, essentially. And you're getting a twin that's easier to work on than an 800.
And a 300-mile range gas tank.
I was going to say, yeah, the biggest gas tank on the planet.
Yeah, it's insane. It's so ridiculous.
I will let you sell me on that one. Like I said, I have my own passions, but I think I can be sold that is the case. And so I'm going to start pitching papers on the floor as I'm trying to figure out how to get the get this stuff put together. All right. So to crown a champion of our remaining motorcycles, there's a question here.
Maybe we should do the list of which bikes remain.
Yeah, no, that's exactly it. So we're talking about the 1100 GS, which was the odd bird, the Tiger 1050, which is the sport touring ADV bike, the V-Strom 650, and then the 2008 1200 GSA. Those are the last 4 bikes. So let's start with the 1100 GS here for the championship round. We already know, would we ride this to Alaska tomorrow? And we know the score on that. Let's look at this from a scale of 0 to 10. Would you buy this bike, this 1100 GS, with your own money?
9. Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah. Well, dude, I don't know if you really understand how close I was. I was real close. Yeah. 9.
This is a personal thing. I'll give it credit for what it is, but my interest level is extremely low. So unfortunately, I'm going to call it a 2.
Yep. Oh, that's brutal, but I don't blame you. I know it's not in your wheelhouse, dude. If it was a GS 110, you might have been more interested than
you mean a 1150 or
no, like literally if they made like a GS 110,
like a CT 125 by BMW, it'd have subscription heated grips on a 125. It'd be the first ever.
It's a BMW, not a KTM.
When the turn signals would be on the wrong damn side. On a scale of 0 to 10, will this bike still be running in 5 years? What was the mileage on it? Remind me. Do you have it in front of you?
62,000.
62,000 miles. 1990s era 1100 GS. Will it still be running in 5 years?
I think it will. Yeah, I think it will.
0 to 10. What are you saying?
I think a 10. It still runs in 5 years.
He says a 10.
I say a 10, and I say that because I have a buddy who had one with a sidecar that has 300,000 miles on the thing. Shout out Era, if anybody knows Era.
That's impressive.
Yeah.
You know what? I'm going to change my answer. I was going to say 6, but you know what? I'm going to say 7.
Yeah. What? 6, 7? That's what the kids say.
Yeah, I see what you did there. All right. So Tiger 1050. Would you buy this bike with your own money?
I probably am a 6 on this one.
He's a 6.
Yeah.
I'm going to say I'm a 7. That's funny. Yeah, we did that twice in a row. All right. Will this bike still be running in 5 years?
With 50,000 miles on it, I don't know. I have a good friend that had one that died in the mountains in North Carolina, and we had to have his son drive up and rescue it in a pickup truck, and it was some sort of catastrophic failure. That's the only thing I know about these bikes when they get high mileage. I don't really ever see many of them with a ton of miles on them, so I don't know. I'm gonna say it's a 5 on whether it's running in another 5 years.
He's gonna say 5. I'm gonna say 6.
I may be way off base.
Yeah, I got a buddy that's got
only
at
a 6.
At least 60 on his, but it also has British electronics on it.
Yeah.
All right, so let's see here. I'll have to do some math at some point. We'll get to that. Bland sensibility. We picked the V-Strom 650. Would you buy this bike with your own money?
I would buy this bike with my own money. I would call this an 8 on buying.
He's going to call it an 8?
Yep.
I'm going to give it a 5.
I know that you did not want it. I knew it was going to be low. I knew it. I'm shocked it's as high as it was.
It's a really good choice. That's the thing. Like I said, they're a dime a dozen to me. I'm like, there's so many of them that I'm like, man, I could get one for so cheap. Like, I don't know.
I honestly don't even see them in person all that much. I don't see them in person all that often. They're all over Marketplace. Don't see them in person often. It's weird. Same thing for the Versys. Don't see them in person often.
It's been a while. Like I said, there's so many other things, and people have got so much money to spend recently on other stuff that you see a lot more new stuff these days. We'll see how that is in about 5 years. Which goes to the question: will this bike still be running in 5 years?
let's do this episode again in 5 years. It'll be a hologram. We'll do
Yeah,
hologram episodes at that
that's
point.
funny. What's your score? 0 to 10. Will it still be running in 5 years?
That's a 10. It's gonna definitely be running in 5 years.
He's gonna say 10.
Yeah,
I was gonna say 8, but we'll call it 9. So
there you
that's
go.
that's the score there.
I don't think I've ever seen one breakdown in any capacity whatsoever.
I Not a V-Strom, but a Versys. I know full well that Ryan Ryan Wheatley has put one together, and it probably still runs today, if I had to guess.
Hell yeah.
All right, the big one, the R1200 GSA. Would you spend your own money on this? Boy, that seems like
Well,
a loaded
it
question.
seems like it would be a 10.
I was gonna say, like, this is just nonsense. All right, so 10 for you.
Yeah.
I'm gonna say 7 for me.
I'm actually
Think that's
shocked it's
probably
as high
fair.
as it is for a 7. Yep.
I've been watching 1200 GSAs for a while.
Have you?
I think I need the next generation. I'm not sure. I've ridden Bills a little bit, and I
Yep.
love the character. Absolutely love the character of them. But the older ones do have some goofy things, to include not knowing where to put a turn signal button.
Oh, dude,
Will this
for
bike
real.
will this bike still be running in 5 years?
That's a question. Will it still be running in 5 years? God, I hope so, dude. My big hang up is I just worry about final drives. That's my problem. That's my hang up on it. If I at this price, if I put $1,000 into a final drive, then change it in a parking lot somewhere, no problem. Yeah, I think it'll still be running in 5 years. I think I'm gonna call it an 8 because I expect to have some sort of BMW weird nonsense that I'm gonna have to deal with. But for the money, if it was like 6 grand or 7 grand, I don't know. I don't know if I'd be jumping on it. But for 3,600, I'll take the chance. We'll see.
So for 8, we're
Eight,
gonna say
eight.
it will be running in 5 years. I concur with you. I'm gonna say 8. So we got
Yeah.
that scored there. All right, which brings us to choosing. So to pick the champion here, according to the scoreboard, the 1100 GS is a 40. Excuse me, that's a 42, which is actually beating the Tiger 1050 at a 40. And then the V-Strom 650 is beating both of them with a 49. And then
What?
that 2008 R1200 GSA is winning with a 53. That's what the scoreboard says we should do.
I'm feeling pretty good about my purchase right about now.
When you look at them, as one last opinion, 1100 versus Tiger 1050 versus V-Strom 650 and versus 1200, you've already spent the money on the 1200, but maybe you didn't see all of these. Would you potentially consider picking one of the others as the best choice out of all the bikes we've talked about?
I would, and it's hilarious because 3 out of 4 were bikes I seriously considered buying. So outside of the 1200, the 1100 was my next choice.
Wow.
Yeah, but then I saw the V-Strom. So the 1100 was the first bike I found, then the V-Strom, and then the 1200. And I was all set to contact that guy on the V-Strom because
Yeah.
I just wanted something reliable I could ride with my kid and have a good time. I kind of wondered if 650 was enough for the two of us with camping gear and all that crap. My buddy loves V-Strom 650s and swears it's not a problem. I don't know. So I don't know, man. That 1100 GS for $2,300. That's a really cool
it is a
bike
cheap-
for very little money, dude. That's probably the next one I would have gone with just because it stands out. It's the square headlight. It's not, quote, not just another GS. Even the 1200 that I'm getting, it's red and black. You don't see the red ones very
Yeah.
often, which I think is
Yeah.
cool. If it wasn't my 1200, I'm standing by my 1200 as a choice, but the 1100 was the next one for me.
Yeah, I've said it before. I mean, there's really good choices in these last four, especially. I think you and I could argue about odd birds, but it's a goofy category. Like, it's one of those like there's no wrong answer type categories. I mean, unless it's a KLR 650 that you see a million of, even though technically we had a KLR on there in its own way. But
Well,
no,
let me throw a wrench in it for a second and ask you what the Tiger 1050 is that you found, because you said you found a better one than the one I found.
the Tiger 1050 I found was a 2008 Triumph Tiger 1050 for $3,000 in Tennessee. Had 16,000 miles on it.
That's more appealing, dude.
Right. Yeah. It's
That's
tough
more
to
appealing.
make that call. Now you're spending $3,000 instead of 3,600. If you're a BMW and a Boxer guy and other stuff, like if you want a BMW, that's a pretty decent deal on a BMW. Although
Yep.
you can get in 1200s now for right about $3,500.
Yep.
Like I said, I had one on here for $3,000.
Yep.
But like I said, I'm a Tiger 1050 guy. I love that bike, but
Your Tiger's a better find than the one with 50,000. That would be a harder choice.
yeah, I expanded. I had a 500-mile radius from like
I
Jericho,
did too.
Kentucky, to kind of get the biggest section of the East Coast,
Yep.
to kind of see more of that stuff.
Facebook Marketplace search sucks, by the way.
Yep, it's terrible, absolutely terrible. We can definitely lament about that in extra innings here in a few minutes. No, I think I'm with you. There's other adventure bikes that you might want to get, and if you're hung up on a 21-inch front wheel, more advanced tech, it does mean that you're finding those older F800s. So I have to agree with you. Literally, you put your money on it. I do think that a 1200 GSA for $3,500 ish is probably one of the best choices you can get right now. So that's definitely the case.
Right on.
Huge list of stuff. But at this stage, I'm gonna start moving into the bonus round with the subscribers. So we're gonna do double or nothing with the subscribers after we let everybody else go here. And I also want to cover some more of the bikes that we didn't talk about, just so that we can get deeper into some of the deals out there. So for folks that are curious about some decent deals on Marketplace, we've got more stuff and what I'm going to call the bonus adventure loop that we're going to take the subscribers on. And I want to remind everybody, if you want to subscribe to the show, there's a link in the description. It's $1 a month. $12 a year. It's a McDonald's combo meal pretty much at this stage. So it doesn't cost much to subscribe. So hey, if you got $1 a month and you're interested in some of the extra inning stuff that's on here, you'll notice that those episodes are longer. So we take the break and then we chit chat about some of the stuff behind the scenes, and it's ad free. If you don't like listening to commercials, $1 a month, and you don't have to listen to any ads anymore, and you support the show directly. And ideally, we can make stuff for you instead of advertisers. So, closing comments for the regular listeners, Mark.
I don't, man. Thanks for hanging out with us. And if you see me on my BMW, don't make fun of my KTM skin. Actually, there's one real quick thing we got to say.
Yeah.
There was not a KTM on this list.
There was a 640.
Oh, there was,
but it didn't survive until the end.
Yep, that was it, man. That was it, dude. Yeah, appreciate you guys hanging on.
So, like I said, subscribers, stay tuned. We're going to do a double or nothing round with a completely different set of bikes, and then we're going to talk about some of the honorable mentions I have on the list here, and who knows what else banner. So, we will catch the regular listeners down the road.